Welcome to the Redemption Podcast Show. I'm U.S. Army veteran and poetic human John Krotec.
And I am a former professional fighter, the champion soul, Jason Freebird Freeman. In a sincere effort to help others and to set some records straight, we share our personal stories and scripture and offer real solutions to overcoming the challenges of life.
We appreciate you being here. And remember, the truth
shall set you free.
Welcome back to another episode of the Redemption Podcast. I'm here with Jason Freebird Freeman, my co-host, and I'm John Krotec. He's champion soul. I'm the poetic human. Yeah, look at him. Yeah. Guns.
You can fight your way out, or you could write your way out.
Yes. Life, yeah, through the challenges in life. What we're going to talk about today, it's a subject that's often overlooked in scriptural study, but also actually it's not overlooked with all of the crazy environmentalists that are out there that are blocking traffic and destroying paintings and chopping down old trees. And, there's a lot of stuff going on to this planet. And the same things that these accusatory people are doing are also helping to destroy the planet. And isn't this a great planet? Haven't we been blessed with something that gives us sustenance? I can't see how people. Just recently, I think somebody chopped down a 300-year-old tree in England on Hadrian's Wall. How can you do that? There's a person that's probably, anyhow, it's just wrong. So let's talk about the environment. Let's talk about being the keeper of the environment. And I know that, wasn't your grandfather involved in love of the environment as well?
Yeah, he created A.H.O. It stands for air, trees, water, and animals. Maybe back in the 70s is when that was established, but back in the days of the hippies in the free world, that's more of what was embraced is just that freedom of life, watching anything grow and grow wildly. That's Mother Nature. I remember hearing stories of my grandfather being in prison and embracing any spider or bug that would come into his cell, and then he would actually make that into a sculpture and give those things away.
Yeah, that's interesting. It being here in the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia and being surrounded by farmland, and watching how my neighbors work and till their land, have great respect for it, and they rotate their crops, and you don't see them out there destroying it. And it's given me a newfound respect, not only for farmers, but for people who understand the importance of nature. And we've often used the word karma on this show, and some people probably freak out, but karma just means you get what you give. And so if you're out there doing things to destroy the planet, it's only a matter of time before something good's not going to happen to it. And that's what we're witnessing in real time all across this planet, it seems like. Some things are natural phenomenon. We can debate that. Climate change. Climate change is a natural phenomenon. Yeah, and
Yes.
The thing that I always wondered that nobody's been able to give me an answer yet is how have we had 4 geologists and people and climatologists have determined that there's been at least 4 glacial ages on the planet. And I always ask, if we've had 4 ice ages, and there's been times in the past where there was no ice, but yet the ice came back without the burning of fossil fuels and gasoline and all this. How did that happen? How did the how did the ice form and then disappear and then form and disappear? Now all of a sudden it's, this call to arms that if we don't make everything green power and get on electricity, that somehow um, we haven't got much longer to live. Well, I always say if you're not talking about atomic energy, then which is much cleaner than batteries, then maybe you don't know what you're talking about. I don't
Maybe
know.
it is all about the sales. Being
Yeah, and
that
the carbon
continuous.
credits, the carbon credits.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, let's put into place a system that bases the company's carbon footprint. And even though you're polluting like hell, if you decide to buy carbon credits from a company that doesn't, it makes everything somehow okay, and you've made money on the transaction. I mean, how stupid do some of these people think we are? But anyhow, to get back, I don't want to digress. Probably going to get some hate emails, but
well, I mean, next, next to selling Jesus, we're going to be selling air. You know that. They'll be selling us air next. Pump it into your house. It's fresh.
I don't know. Humankind. I wonder, are we watching the de-evolution of humankind, or are we just watching unchallenged narcissism? You know, oh, just because I said it, it must be true. But
Yeah.
the truth eventually comes out, and that's, there's so many backstories and stories behind these statements that are made and these narratives, and I just wish and hope that people, rather than chop down a tree or block a road or do whatever they're doing they think to save the environment, just do a little research. Maybe delve into the Bible and see what God has to say about the planet. And we're supposed to be keepers of the environment. We're supposed to give not revere, not what do you do? Bow down to it, but be part of it. Understand our place in it. And as the most evolved, intelligent creature on the
Right.
planet, shouldn't we be doing things to make things better instead of just trying to make a buck? I mean, I don't know. I do know, but what do you think?
Well, I tell you what, from what I've just seen and throughout my years, I've come to realize that there's so many ways to make money. There's so many ways on top of ways to make money, especially if you have a lot of money that you can disperse out. You could buy almost anything, or you could buy out almost anybody, and then you could create your own label and slap it on the clean air cans, the clean water. I mean, there's so many ways that they use the environment to benefit themselves, to benefit their families and their big corporations, and they
Hmm.
create an image and a plot in the mass in the mass of the people in society. They get these stories that are told and told and told again over and over on social media and on the news. Us as people, we're supposed to believe what's on that news channel, and we can easily fall short to believe in almost anything. We don't use our own common sense, John.
What gets me is like this World Economic Fund, or they fly in their private jets to these places. I think they did one in Davos, but they've done them around the planet. They fly around the world in these jets that are putting millions of tons of pollutants into the atmosphere. So they can sit there and scratch each other's back and pat each other's backs to tell those of us who they say are not nearly as intelligent as they are how to live our lives. And we can't fly, or we can't drive, and we can't do the things that they do so openly. Those people that fly to that every year have put more pollutants into the environment than the entire state of Virginia will do in its entire lifetime. You know, it's just it's madness, the things that they're telling us to believe that are just to make a buck. You know, virtue signaling. That's another one. But and I'm sorry we've digressed, but we really haven't. It's about the environment. It's about taking care of the environment. And what was it? Al Gore, that said that we're in Inconvenient Truth, the movie that came out, I don't know, 20 years ago, where he said all of the ice on the planet was going to be gone by 2015. Glaciers are still dripping. You know, that illusion of predictability that we've read about. Deepak Chopra talks about that as being an illusion. You know, oh yeah, you can't predict anything. Really? Well, if I say there's going to be more ice on the planet in 2100 than there is now, prove me
Right.
wrong. Prove me wrong. Well, we just proved him wrong and what he told us. So is that his credibility and has gone down the tubes? Absolutely. Don't make statements unless you can back them up, because the truth will eventually come out. And the truth about your grandfather, they're not all out. The world wanted to paint a picture of him as this beast. And certainly some of the things that he was involved in and surrounded himself with weren't good, but there's always a backstory. And he did love the environment.
Yes.
And people said he was crazy. That's another episode coming up. Why was Charles Manson so crazy? We're going to talk about that, the videos that are out there, maybe why he did that. Or was he crazy, or was he doing something else? We won't go there yet. But so if you truly care about the environment, then don't fall for all of the lies about it. Do your little part. I used to say, you can't save the world, but if you turn your light bulb off, your little part.
Yeah. Little part.
Million people do that. We can save some energy. Or if you just don't throw that cigarette on the ground or that piece of bubble gum out the window, if you just put it in your pocket and get rid of it next time you see a trash receptacle, maybe you can reduce the number of cigarette butts and bubble gum that people get on their shoes. And
They
that's
get
something.
washed up on the beaches. All that stuff gets washed back up. It doesn't just go away. I think of the landfills often, John, just because I do construction and I have for the longest time. You know, when you go into those landfills and you see what's coming in, and then you see the trucks going back out, and then you get to observe what's in there. They do some um, recycling, but when you're bringing in trucks full of stuff that could be recycled or ran down a conveyor belt to really make a difference, instead of just building hills and mountains full of debris that's brought in from other states, sometimes other countries. Heck, we're right in Florida here, so there's stuff coming here, there's stuff going out. But the crazy thing is, um, us us as people, we can easily, um, and this drives me crazy because we have processed food. We're not tilling our land. We're not out there making it happen, but we're buying processed food that's all packaged. If the world's worried about um, trash, debris, and things building up, maybe they would package them different. But when they're packaged the way they are, then they come into our homes from the shelves from the grocery stores, and then it becomes our responsibility because we're the ones who touched it last. So does it go into the recycling bin, or does it go into the trash can to go right out to the curb again? There's times where we do recycle clothes, shoes, furniture, things like that for the next person. But then we also can very easily not recycle and overfill our trash cans over and over and over again. But if you take every family, every household, just in one county, and you look at all of those uh, items that could be recycled that aren't, that are going right into the landfill, and that's just one county. And you broaden it, and then you open it up, and then you look at society as a whole. Can we make a difference? We have enough technology and enough brain power and enough manpower in our country to make a huge difference. I'm just one person. We recycle here at my house.
That's great. You know, let's do away with the mystery. There's no doubt that humankind has had an effect on the planet. No doubt.
Yes.
A lot of times a negative effect. And civilizations have come and gone. I mean, we can just need to fly around the planet. We can see the pyramids. We can see the Inca ruins, you know, the Anasazi. We can see where great civilizations came and went. And what was their legacy, right? Maybe in the 21st century, our legacy is not trying to make money on carbon credits or flying to Davos to tell other people how to live. Maybe the legacy starts at an individual, in an individual place. And you just mentioned your home and your recycle. Maybe the environmental legacy that we leave behind as a civilization, humankind, is one that starts with the individual. And if you're doing the right thing, if you are doing the right thing, then you can rest easy at night. You're always going to have people that do the wrong thing, but we can't concentrate on those people. We need to concentrate on the people who we can surround ourselves to do the right things. And that's what the environment is about. Do the right thing. Recycle. Turn that off. Don't listen to the stuff that's out there where people are making buku money. Don't waste your time standing in a street holding up traffic, which is causing more fuel to be burned while people sit there and wait till the police come and haul you away. Don't go to Hadrian's Wall and cut down a tree that's revered, that's been there for 300 plus years, the beauty of the universe you just destroyed. Or sit in a museum and throw tomato soup on a Van Gogh. You know, why destroy a masterpiece that millions of people enjoy? You know, so start with yourself. Look inward. Do the right thing. And remember, I know that we went all over the place on this particular episode, but that's what we do on the Redemption Podcast. If your grandfather revered the planet, and that's a part of him that people didn't know, then at least he was trying to do his small part, even if it was just awareness. And there's a dichotomy there. I'm not saying that he was a saint by any stretch of the imagination. No. But he had his heart in the right place when it came to the planet. If you run with the wrong crowd, bad things are going to happen. If you do the right thing, good things are going to happen. We do know. So if you want to turn your life around, do the things we just said, but also visit Decide to Fight. Visit jasonfreebirdfreeman.com. Visit the link for his Decide to Fight program. Fight your way out of whatever it is that you're dealing with. And for my piece to this puzzle, which could help the environment too, be a poetic human. Be a heart scribe. Visit johnkrotec.com and sign up for my course. And yeah, these are selfish plugs, but guess what? The programs that we offer are ones that can truly help you, and in the long run, hopefully the planet. But certainly not going to add to all the other nonsense going on out there.
No, we're all about giving back and helping people understand that they're not in this life alone. If it has to do with the environment or the environment within our own minds, we want to help people free their minds so that they can become a better person.
Jason, I'm telling you, man, I swear you're becoming a poet. The more we interact, the more I see the poet in you. So But I do know this, and I didn't say this, it's not my quote, it's somewhere in a very important book. Seek the truth, because the truth
Shall set you free.
See you next time.
Thank you.
And the question is, was Charles Manson crazy? Thank you for listening. Thanks again for listening to this episode of the Redemption Podcast Show. We hope you got some wisdom out of it. Don't forget, the truth
Shall set you free.